Hello there, this is Carlo, and welcome to another tutorial. And today we're going to be doing some lighting with moving characters this time in Cinema 4D. As you can see, we've got our dragon here, and what I'm going to try and do is show you the best way to light him in a scene. And let the lights, shall I say, move around the object, basically follow him so he sort of stays in shadows, so on and so on. So this is the animation we're going to be working with here, just a simple couple of steps of walking, and we're just going to work with that. So it's very similar to a static scene. We're going to create first. Oh no, we don't want a cube. We're going to create a plane. We're just going to scale that plane up, and we're basically going to scale it to the length of the model. So we're just going to watch him, and he goes there, making sure that he stays on the plane, like so. And we're just going to work with the actual lighting itself, just to focus on getting the lighting to follow him, and having some really nice reflections on the floor. So let's just render this out quickly and see what we got. As you can see, we've got a basic grey floor. But we want to get some sort of shadows to that, so I'm going to create a new material here, and I'm just going to basically play around with some of the settings in the material. So we're going to add maybe a glow to that. Let's go to colour. And let's go to illumination. Basically all I'm doing, guys, is just checking what we've got to sort of play around with environment wise, reflection wise, so on and so on. So let's just quickly drop that on top of our plane, and then render it out and see what we got. Okay, so as you can see, we've got some lines on the plane, so I don't really want that. So when it comes to texturing or lighting, the best way to play it is obviously experimenting. So first of all, let's get some lights in the scene. Okay, so let's create, oh, we don't want that one. Let's create an area light, and let's just bring the area light up. Let's give it some rotation, like so. Let's control C, control V that. So we've got two lights, and let's just move this one over, and then let's pull it up. Select our first light, and sort of pull it up. Let's come out of the scene, like so. Let's do some rotation with it, because it's still a bit, as you can see, it's quite white, so we sort of don't want it to be sort of overcrowding our dragon. So let's just render that out, and now we've got a white plane, as you can just see there. So let's select our light, bring it down, let's go over like so. Let's rotate it sideways, and let's do the same to our other light. So let's just rotate it sideways, and let's we want to go back, so bring it down to our scene. So we've got some shadow going on here, and it's a bit harsh, so we're going to just pull it back so we can get some nice shadows on the side of the actual character itself. Now you can animate these lights, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. So let's go back to the beginning of the scene, and as you can see, the light obviously is going to change as the character comes into contact with the actual light itself, but we want that light, shall we say, to follow our character. So we're going to rotate this a bit more so it's nice and straight, like so. And let's go back to our first scene. Let's bring our lights all the way over. Let's hit a keyframe, or so should we say. Let's have a keyframe there, and let's hit the auto key, and let's go to the end of the frame and bring our light all the way over. As you can see, these are all the keyframes we've just created. Now when the character moves, as you can see, the lighting is going to move with him, okay, to keep the shadows on him at basically all times. So we're going to do the same thing to the opposite light. So let's just swing our character around a bit and just put it back so we can see our light in the shot. Let's select our light and let's just pull it in. Maybe come to about there. Let's have a keyframe there and go to the end of our comp, and let's just bring, no, that's done it. Let's go back to the start, shall I say. Let's hit the auto key again. Let's go to the end and let's see our lighting work like that. Okay, so now we've got some basically some moving lights. So let's select our bottom light and let's go to on, and let's just have a look at something for a second. So we're going to come up to shadows and we're going to go shadow map for the first. We're going to do the same ray trace hard for the second. So we're going to get some nice results hopefully when we render out. So let's just go forward so we get a shadow. Let's just render that out. Okay, so now you can see on our scene we're starting to get some shadows from the character. Now where we've gone wrong here is that this first light here is too harsh. So we're going to change that to shadow soft, and then when we render that out, we're going to get some really lovely soft shadows for our character. Now make out, or potential I say, that this is grass or something. I don't even know if I've got some grass in a comp, but we're going to try and find something now. So let's go and see what we've got in our presets. Let's go to, we've got some grass. Okay, so we've got some grass there. So let's put that into position and maybe scale that up a bit to match our plane. Let me just render that out for a second. Now the idea of this is to duplicate this grass loads of times, so it goes over, but I'm not going to actually use that grass actually. The reason is it's not, it's a 2D object up here, so let's go to, see it's 2D, what 3D objects. Try to see what I've got here. Bear with me guys, sorry about this. We want some grass. We might not have some grass here. Broadcast, materials, 2D object, 3D objects. Just trying to give you some ideas of where. Right, so it looks like we haven't got grass. So let's just get our plane. Let's just create a new material and let's go to colour. Let's just bring it down, sort of giving it a bit of a grassy look. Let's just drop that on top. Plane, and now let's just render it out. So as you can see, we're getting some really nice shadows from our character on our plane, and this will be in the render as well when the character's moving. So what we're going to do is I want to get my plane, and I'm going to scale my plane right up. And this is simply to fill the scene, okay? We are going to Control C, Control V that plane. Let's rotate it up. Let's push it back in V space, like so. We're going to give ourselves a nice background to work with, a nice backdrop. Okay, so if we render that out now, all we're going to have to do is play around with the actual backdrop itself. So let's drop, get this, let's change the colour. It's a bit harsh actually. Let's bring this, no actually we're not going to use that colour. We're not going to use that colour. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to put it into position, and I'm just going to render it out and see where we're going. Okay, so the shadows are still a bit harsh, as you can see on our character. So let's just go to our lights, and let's change it to shadow soft. Let's go to our top one, shadow soft, and let's try rendering that out again. See, the shadows are a hell of a lot softer than they were before. So we're going to get some nice effects from the background. So I'm going to zoom out and just going to play around with the background image at the moment. This is purely to show you movement in or animation, as you've just seen in the final result of how we're going to just basically move the light to get some really nice shadows while you're sort of you're animating. So let's get sunlight, and let's get our sun. With our sun. Let's just get rid of that a minute, and let's go and put a matte on the top plane. Let's change it to flat, and let's render that out. See, it's coming a lot harsher now, and we're getting some really lovely shadows in the scene. So let's just render that. Now, as you're moving, obviously, the shadows are basically going to follow the character, so always remember that. Let's get our top plane, and let's scale that right up. Trying to remember which way it was. Shut up a bit. Let's bring that about there. Tilt it back a bit. I think we're going peak top at the moment. I think it's a case of, as long as you fill the scene with your backplate, shall I say, you're going to get nice results when you actually render this out. So as he's moving. We've got a nice sunlight going in the background up the top there. We've got our two side lights, just to give a really nice shadow effect. Really nice bit of animation. Got some shadow on the back wall here. These might be a bit sharp, but you can sort of play around with that as you see fit. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful. As always, if you have a like rating, would definitely be appreciated. And as always, I will definitely catch you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.